Today we're making this beautiful bruschetta on top of roasted garlic, spread on these beautiful crostini. So good, so easy to make, perfect for any summer day. Want to see how we make it? Just keep watching. So the first thing we're going to do is prepare our garlic for the crostini. All right, so you want to take off the excess skin off the garlic. Just like that. Get this all out of here, messy. Alright. This one looks like it has bonus, so we're going to take a couple of these cloves off. We're going to use this for the actual bruschetta. Alright. So then, you're going to want to cut off the top of the garlic clove, of the head, sorry, just so you're exposing all the garlic inside. So next you're going to grab a piece of foil. All right, then you're going to drizzle this with some olive oil, just on the top. Just about a teaspoon. All right. Then you're going to wrap it tightly with the foil. So now you can roast this in the oven if you want. But I'm actually going to air fry this. If you're going to roast it, you want to do it at a 400-degree oven for about a half hour. But I'm going to do it in the air fryer at 390 for about 20 to 25 minutes. It comes out just as good, and without a hot house. But we're also going to be roasting the bread, so I guess I have to turn on the oven anyway. But into the air fryer it's going to go. So next you're going to prep the tomatoes. You can use plum tomatoes, cherry, grape, whatever kind you want. I'm using these giant beefsteak tomatoes. All right, so the first thing you want to do is core the top. All right, then you're going to cut it in half. And then you're going to cut each into thirds, each half. All right, so then these little bowls are out of my way. All right, so now with a paring knife, you want to take out the inside. Pretty much what you're going to be doing is we're going to be seeding the tomatoes. You can leave the seeds in it if you want, but just get stuck in my teeth and they're just not pleasant. And what this is also going to do is going to release a lot. It's going to have the effect that it's going to have a lot less moisture in your bruschetta. So this way, most of the moisture is just going to come from the olive oil and the vinegar, which makes it a lot more pleasant. All right, so once you got your seeds out, all right, oops, got one more, yep. All right, so now, once you got your seeds out, we're gonna dice this up. You can do a big dice, small dice. I like mine on the smaller side. All right, and just carefully, without cutting your fingers, there you have your diced tomatoes. All right, so now we're gonna do this to the rest of them. All right, so once you have your tomatoes all prepped, see, get them in a nice glass bowl. See, they're not that watery, and all you have left is the nice meat of the tomatoes. It's gonna be so good. We're gonna wanna prep the garlic. All right, so we're gonna use 3 cloves for this. Good, easy way to peel garlic. Crush them with the back of your knife, and the skin comes right off. We're going to be mincing this anyway, so it doesn't matter if they get a little too crushed. It's actually going to help you out in the long run. I guess I didn't crush this one enough. Another smush. There we go. All right, see, the skin comes right off. This one broke in half. I guess I should have touched the tomatoes because it's hard to do this when your hands are wet. Alright, I think I got it all off. Alright, so now we're going to mince up this garlic. So just want to make sure you cut it into tiny, tiny little pieces. Try not to cut yourself. Make sure your knives are sharp because you don't have to apply as much pressure. And if your knives are dull, there's a better chance you're going to cut yourself with it. All right, now just make another little rough chop. And there we have our minced garlic. Now I'm going to do the other clove, and then we're going to add it to the tomatoes. Okay, so we added the minced garlic to the tomatoes, and just so happens that the air fryer just beeped saying that the garlic is ready, so we're going to carefully open this up. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Very hot, but beautiful. And look how they just come right out. Oh, oh, that's so nice. All right, so we're going to allow this to cool for a little bit, and then we're going to pop out these beautiful roasted garlic cloves. Perfect. Wow. I'm doing it like this from now on. All right, so now we're going to prep the basil. If you have fresh basil, that's perfect. When you want to pick it, you just want to get it right to the stem and just pinch it. All right, but if you buy store-bought, that's fine. I wouldn't recommend using dry because the dry just won't be pleasant. All right, but we're gonna need a lot of basil for this, so I'm gonna keep picking. And you know, it's always nice to have an herb garden. I have parsley, basil, some rosemary, and thyme. In a previous video, I talked about saving the stems of the scallions. Look, I planted them. Look how big they got. And now I have new scallions from like normally the nubs you would throw away. All right, so I'm gonna keep picking some basil, and then we're gonna chop it up. All right, so I picked my basil. I probably have about a loose cup, I would say. All right, I gave them a good rinse and a nice squeeze to get all the excess moisture out. Now we're gonna julienne it. Now I found the best way to julienne basil is you wanna make a little pile of them. Just stack them up together. The smaller leaves in the middle, the larger ones on the outside. All right. That seems like a good start. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll it. Doesn't have to be a tight roll. And then carefully, you're gonna cut this. You see what I'm doing? All right, and what you're ending up with is beautiful, thinly sliced julienne basil. So much easier. If you have food processor, you could do that too. But then it's just gonna be, you're really gonna get the moisture out of it, and it's gonna just be kind of like almost like a pesto sauce. It's gonna be very clumpy. So this way, look how nice. Looks like confetti. All right, so we're gonna julienne the rest of the basil, and then we're gonna add it to the tomatoes. All right, so once you have all your ingredients prepped, just literally tomatoes, garlic, and the basil, we're gonna wanna season it with some salt, just how much you want, salt to taste. I'm doing probably about 1/4 teaspoon. Is that right? Then you're gonna wanna add about 1/4 cup of olive oil. Use a good olive oil, because you're really gonna taste this. You really wanna get a nice extra virgin olive oil. Get that all in there. And then you're gonna use about 3 tablespoons of a red wine vinegar. You can use balsamic if you want, but the red wine really just brings out the flavor. It has that nice little sharpness. All right, so we're gonna toss this all together. Doesn't that look beautiful? Oh my gosh, look how pretty this looks. All right, let's just give it a quick little taste. Make sure I seasoned it enough. Oh, so good. I can use a little more salt. All right, so we got a little bit of salt in there. All right, so now we're gonna give it the final turn, and we're gonna let this sit to let the flavors really develop for just like 15 minutes. All right. So now let's prep our crostini. All right, so here we have our fresh baguette. All right, so we're gonna cut this into slices. You may be tempted to cut it like this. You could do it like that too. But we wanna make this nice and dramatic. So we're gonna cut these into slices like this. All about the drama. See, oh, that's a slice worthy of that bruschetta. Or if you want to say it correctly, la bruschetta. All right, so we're going to continue slicing the bread. And then you're going to line your bread slices onto a parchment-lined sheet tray. All right, if you want to be really fancy, you can grill these. You know, that's really the traditional way of doing the bruschetta. All right, but we're just going to do it in the oven. Too much of a hassle. All right, so now we're going to gently drizzle these with some olive oil. Just a little bit on each slice. Right. Now we're going to get this into the preheated oven at 400 degrees for just like 5-10 minutes, just till they crisp up a little bit. All right, so, all right, into the oven they're going to go. So we have a couple minutes to kill while we're waiting for the bread to toast. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? That's right, it's cocktail time! Yeah! Alrighty, so for our limoncello lemon drop, we're gonna add 2 ounces of limoncello, 1 ounce of vodka, half an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. Actually, make that lemon juice. And half an ounce of simple syrup. All right, so we give this a shaky, and we pour. Looks like lemonade. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should have lined the glass with some sugar. Oh well. And look at that. Is that perfect or what? Get to the last drop. Time to taste it. Cheers. Oh wow, that is so refreshing. And coincidentally enough, apparently limoncello is good to be drinking with when you're eating bruschetta. So, perfect cocktail. But it tastes like a spiked lemonade. So tasty, so good. So if you make this drink, let us know. All right, so we've taken the bread out of the oven. See, it's nice and crunchy, nice and crispy. Oh, that looks so good. So now we're gonna take the garlic that we roasted, and we're gonna spread this right on these crostini. Spread it all across, as good as you can. Yeah, that's gonna add so much flavor. A little bit of skin. All right, now we're gonna do that to the rest of them. Fun. So we got them all covered in garlic. Look at that, it spreads so beautifully. Now it's ready to top with the bruschetta. Try to get some of the moisture out when you're doing it. And then right on top of here. Look at that. Oh my God, looks like you got it at a restaurant. Does that look amazing or what? Some spilled, whatever. Now we'll top it with a little bit of shaved Parmesan. Doesn't that look beautiful? I mean, really, come on. And how easy was this to make? Like I said, I don't do anything that's hard. Time consuming, maybe, yes, but hard? As little to tell you, I'm too lazy for that. Right, another slice of Parmesan there. And look at that. All right, don't look at that. That made a mess. All right. Oh, we'll try to get that back on there. We fixed it. Right. Now look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So good. Taste test time. Oh. This is incredible. So good. All those flavors brought together by that beautiful garlic that we did in the air fryer. Isn't that crazy? On that crunchy bread. So good. So if you make this recipe, let us know. Enjoy.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Poppy's Cucina. Thanks!